Good morning and welcome to the Core Connection. I'm Mira Rubin here with you on Enlightened World Network, and today's topic is blessings and what would happen if we saw life through a lens that allowed us to perceive the blessings and to sort for those blessings. And yeah, so we get to talk about that. Good morning, Rosalind. So good to have you here with us this morning, and welcome to everybody else who's joining us. Blessings. But before we get started, let's take a couple minutes to get present. Let's take a deep breath in through your nose and hold it. And imagine clean, crisp oxygen flooding your lungs, flowing into your bloodstream, nourishing all your cells, your organs, bringing vital life energy to your body and being. And as you exhale, exhale any tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's take another deep breath in through your nose and hold it. This time, imagine brilliant, bright light, lighting you up from the inside out, illuminating, electrifying, and energizing all your cells, your molecules, your electrons, and creating this brilliant beam of light from your heart out into the world. And as you exhale, exhale any remaining tension, stress, negativity, fatigue. And now let's put our hands together, rub them vigorously. Feel the texture, the temperature, the friction. And when you stop, feel the buzzing and allow all those sensations to bring you present right here, right now, into this remarkable physical form that enables you to experience life. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So we're talking today about blessings. And we all know the saying, count your blessings. I think more than counting your blessings, the intention of that statement is to be present to your blessings, to bring awareness to our blessings. Sorry, this is really hurting. Ouch, ouch, ouch. No earrings this morning. Anyway, so counting our blessings, what does that mean? And what does it mean to bring awareness to our blessings? So yesterday was good morning. Oh, Bernadette, you got me. Thank you. Bernadette says, good morning and happy belated birthday, my friend. Thank you. I was just going to say yesterday was my birthday. And thank you so much for that. And I received such powerful gifts yesterday that I was moved to tears on multiple occasions, and particularly, well, just sort of mind-blowing. So that's where this notion of blessings comes from. I spent my day with my clients, working with my clients yesterday, and I felt so blessed, like deeply, deeply blessed to be participating with these amazing humans in masterful breakthroughs, really, really profound, life-altering breakthroughs yesterday. And I just was so deeply, deeply moved and grateful. Thank you so much, Rosalind. Rosalind says, happy birthday. Thank you. I'm going to milk it for the week, I think. um, anyway, I was so moved to be able to participate in these transformations with people. And there was no greater gift, really, than than that. Thank you, Lisa. Good morning, and thank you for your birthday wishes. I think for it was more of a more rare occasion. I actually really let in my impact. I love that. Bernadette says, why not a birthday month? I'm with you. I think I might adopt that idea. Instead of a week, why not a month? I love it. Thank you, Bernadette. So yeah, I really let in that I get to make a difference in people. And um, it's humbling. It's humbling. It's a beautiful thing to not only receive an acknowledgement, which is a beautiful thing and profoundly moving. One of my clients said, I'm so glad you were born. You know, that was pretty amazing. But also to give ourselves the gift of acknowledging ourselves also, you know, and that we can be a blessing to others. So to allow that for yourself, that's what today is talking about, I think, is to be recognizing the blessing that we are to others in the world, and to allow yourself to receive that acknowledgement, that gift, that we get to make a positive impact on others, that we get to contribute to others in a way that's profound. And then I woke up this morning and I had texts from two people that I care about very much in my life, that where there's been an estrangement, and that was like icing on the cake, you know, just beyond. And so what I realized is, that's beautiful. Rosalind says, blessings are available now. Can or does someone need to feel worthy to receive it? I think that that's the whole point. I think that's the whole point, Rosalind, is that we get to step into receiving the blessings. So I think that when we put our attention and our awareness on blessings, we are at the same time opening to receive those blessings, or we wouldn't be able to perceive them. That's my thought. I don't know if that's true or not true, worthy of experimentation, I would think, but to really experience blessings, I think moves us into a state of gratitude, appreciation, wonder, true humility, you know, just like to be humbled by those blessings in a really rich and sweet way, you know, to be moved, to be deeply moved. I think that that's I think that that's what's available to us, and I think that that's what we can create as we presence ourselves to the gifts. Good morning, Gia. You're so sweet. Gia says, hello, Mira. Happiest belated birthday wishes. Sorry couldn't be with you yesterday. I wish you health, happiness, and success. Always keep shining, keep inspiring us. Oh, you're so sweet, Gia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And, you know, so I'm just talking about how I'm talking about blessings through how blessed I feel. And I just want you guys to know how deeply blessed I feel to have these opportunities with you, for these interactions, for sharing insights and awareness and growth and transformation. And I'm just so deeply grateful and appreciative. And yes, Bernadette, how lovely a thing to say. If everyone could see themselves as others see them, it would and could be a beautiful world. Yes, indeed. And so to allow yourself to receive, uh, there's this dynamic between recognizing blessings, receiving blessings, being open to receive as a way to begin to recognize blessings. There's such power in gratitude. I know we know that, but there's an elevation that comes about when we allow for the recognition of the blessings, and then really move into the vulnerability that allows us to receive them. Because I think that we can recognize blessings from an academic vantage point, where, you know I'm blessed with this, I'm blessed with that, but I'm not really experiencing it, I'm not really present to it. But then when we allow ourselves to really receive the blessing, the power of that blessing, then it's it's a very different energy. It elevates that whole dynamic. And I think that there's a frequency change that happens when we really step into that receiving. And the receiving is kind of amplified, and by gratitude, which amplifies the receiving, which, it's this upward spiral of experience. Thank you, Dido. You were one of my great gifts yesterday. I just want you to know that. Um, I so appreciate you, and it was such a gift to be with you yesterday. So thank you deeply from the inner reaches of my deepest heart. And so grateful to um, I'm bubbling up here. Um, I'm so deeply grateful to have work that that um, lifts other people and that lifts me. To feel that I make a difference is such a gift. And wow, Dido says, such a gift for me. I feel like my life is going to be so much more filled with blessings now, and already is. Absolutely, Dido. Just miraculous. So to be witnessing, or to be a participant in someone else's growth and transformation, and experience of greater freedom, is such a profound gift to me. And I not like I want to make this all about me, but I'm so deeply grateful. And it's interesting because I shared with you that I had had a conversation with someone close in my life who really had no sense of purpose or meaning and didn't even need it, didn't have any call for it. And for me, from the time I was a kid, I was seeking meaning and purpose. And I just feel so blessed to recognize uh, and to be presented with the opportunity to engage with people in work that makes a difference. So Rosalind says, maybe there was a story of lack of money, lack of food, lack of security. To change the story, if you were told you will always have enough, does that require a level of trust for that? I think that's the ultimate trust, Rosalind, when we're talking about blessings is, you know, what if we trust that we will have enough? It may not always be easy, but what if we trust that we are enough, that we will have enough? How much would change? We might not feel the need to accumulate all the stuff that we accumulate, right? We can be appreciating the blessings that we have, you know, and we get to recognize or engage with how much is enough. You know, so much of what our lives are is abundance way above and beyond what is enough, and is an abundance, and we don't even recognize it, you know, because we've become so acclimated to it. So blessings, you know, the things we take for granted are some of our deepest blessings too. You know, most of us have a roof over our heads and we don't recognize the blessing of that. I mean, it's a profound blessing to have the comforts that we have, to have to have air conditioning on a hot day, to have enough food to be able to say, well, what do I want for dinner tonight? You know, or to be able to have those choices, to be able to have mobility, to, you know, our lives are filled to overflowing with blessings that we don't recognize. And what the phrase, an attitude of gratitude, is coming to mind. You know, there's that's a gift that gives back to us, you know, when gratitude is a gift that gives back to us, because as we feel that gratitude, it just expands, and we can have a deeper and richer appreciation, and we can connect more fully with life. So Bernadette says, enough doesn't need to be physical abundance. Exactly. It really truly doesn't. Beautiful. And it goes, Bernadette goes on to say, our souls love to hear recognition of who we are as people and able to share the support, understanding, and compassion. 100%, Bernadette, 100%. So the interaction that we have with others, there's incredible blessings in those interactions. And one of the things that we talk about is really finding the blessing in everything, you know, finding the gift in everything, even adversity, you know, and maybe especially adversity often brings gifts that are, you know, that it takes some work often to discern, but they're there. And Rosalind says, the simplest way to give back to the earth is to give thanks, to be full of gratitude for all that you have, the food on your table, the money in your pocket, the sounds and rhythms of your beautiful world you live in, if you are open to receive. And that, I think that that's the thing, Rosalind. I think that when we are open to receive, the gifts are overflowing everywhere, all the time. And what happens is we often focus on what we don't want, what we don't like, what we don't have, and and that magnifies too, because wherever we put our attention magnifies. So to be in this space where we can live through a lens of gratitude and receiving, to be open to receiving. So what does that mean? Because I just talked about how, we can have an intellectual awareness of our gifts, but it doesn't create an experience. And so this notion of receiving is very deeply about opening one's heart, like allowing that flower in your heart to bloom. And with those open petals, we can receive the rain, right? We can receive the gifts, the incredible bounty of those gifts to touch our hearts. And, I think that that might have been the most profound gift yesterday, is to have my heart so deeply touched, and to have had the willingness to receive those amazing gifts. And the thing is that those gifts, gifts are ongoing all the time. It's just about our willingness to put our attention there, and then to be willing to receive with open heart. And yeah, so yesterday was a day of miracles for me, like profound miracles. And I feel blessed to have access to that kind of miracle all the time. We all do. We all have access to these miracles all the time, but we don't always reside in the openness to receive them. And I'm just trying to integrate this still. There's something deep here about relationship, and part of it is relationship to self, but it's also relationship to the world. Like what is our relationship with the world? And the thing about relationship is it's give and take, right? There's a reciprocity, a reciprocation in relationship that gives this rich exchange. Bernadette says, glad you're in my life and blessed to have the support of all from this platform. Bernadette, thank you for that. And I'm so glad to have you in my life, and all of you who are part of this wonderful group that forms and grows and changes. And it's such a privilege to be with all of you, truly, truly. And so I'm thinking that at the foundation of blessings is engagement. being, creating, allowing a connection, that there's this interaction, there's the exchange, there's an exchange of energy, and a receiving and a giving. And like gratitude is that exchange of energy. It's a receiving and it's an emanation that is perceptible. When someone is in a state of gratitude and appreciation, their energy is very distinctive, and that's an exchange, and it breeds more exchanges. So Gia says, I think gratitude is the biggest power that we humans have. The more we express gratitude, the more we can see more and more reasons, situations, things, people. I mean, everything to have gratitude for, and it becomes a never-ending process. Exactly, exactly, exactly. You said it so beautifully, Gia. It's really true. It's this upward spiral of energy and frequency. And so perhaps the biggest gift we can give one another is gratitude. The biggest gift we can give ourselves, that consequently gives to others, is gratitude. And it's interesting because a lot, for me, one of my easiest inroads to gratitude and love is beauty. So when I'm present to beauty, there's an experience of deep opening, and then that goes into wonder and gratitude and appreciation. And Gia says, right now I'm thankful for having you and everyone participating here. Likewise, Gia, likewise. Thank you for that. And I have to run, but I am deeply, deeply grateful to you, for you, and for the sharing that we have every weekday morning here on Enlightened World Network at 9 a.m. Eastern. I'm Mira Rubin. This is the Core Connection. And please check out we're on Enlightened World Network's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Please check out the other awesome programming from Enlightened World Network and Enlightened World Living and EWN One with the Earth on all their Facebook pages. You are so welcome, Dido. Thank you. You deeply enrich my life, as do the rest of you here, and I'm so appreciative. So until next time, so much love to you. Hope to see you again here really soon.